That's the elevator car that I was riding in. And I don't know why I'm doing all this. I'm just showing you what's around here, in case you haven't seen it. The water is very convincing. I mean, it's a really good-looking part of the program. It's just that the water doesn't splash very much. You know, that's with most of the water in most video games. It doesn't really respond to. There's a ripple, a splash. You can get in it. And to their credit, I'm sure it's very difficult to manufacture water in a 3D dynamic environment like this. I just kind of lost my bearings there for a second. I'm getting old. The thing that most of the people don't think about, honestly, is you see these fires. You see where the fires are built in the turrets, in an old turret casing, but the fires are burning, which means that someone has just been here and is starting the fires or putting the fires in the turrets. So someone's around here, and those are little cues that I don't think that many people pay attention to. That there's probably, and more than likely, someone else running around this area. Not to mention the paintings and drawings and writing that you find on some of the walls around, is that someone is actually around. Someone's here. I forgot where the wall is at. There it is. I like this portal. I think that they did a great job expanding its horizon, so to speak. Just the sheer size of the latter half of this game, the way the rooms in these caverns, of course, are so expansive. It gives a bigger sense, a bigger feel to the game that just wasn't there in the first one. Of course, it all took place in a small area. One thing I like about the Portal series is the solitudinal feel of the game. It's very relaxing and challenging. I enjoy the ability to play a challenging game and still feel relaxed and never really feel stressed playing this game. Okay. The guys over at Valve really know how to produce a very believable structure, a very believable texture. It makes something that you're looking at feel real, you know? We are at the bottom of the world, basically. I can only imagine that the door I just came through was part of like a lock for all the water that may or may not fill up this entire area on this side of that wall. Not quite sure. But I could see this entire area filling with water. Would it be like under an ocean or something? But I'm not really sure that it is. An awful lot of water down here, though. To be so far down, we're, you know, some 4,000 or 5,000 feet below the surface. That's far. That is really far.
Science. Astronauts, war heroes, Olympians, you're here because we want the best. And you are it. So, who is ready to make some science?
I am.
Now, you already met one another on the limo ride over, so let me introduce myself. I'm Cave Johnson. I own the place. That eager voice you heard is the lovely Carolyn, my assistant. Rest assured, she has transferred your honorarium to the charitable organization of your choice. Isn't that right, Carolyn?
Yes, sir, Mr. Johnson.
She's the backbone of this facility. Pretty as a postcard, too. Sorry, fellas. She's married. To science.
There's a backstory to Carolyn and Cave that a YouTuber made a video about. It has to do with the character that is playing here in the game too. Very interesting, and it's not something that I thought of either.
There's 1,000 tests performed every day here in our enrichment spheres. I can't personally oversee every one of them, so these pre-recorded messages will cover any questions you might have and respond to any incidents that may occur in the course of your science adventure. Your test assignment will vary depending on the manner in which you have bent the world to your will. Those of you helping us test the repulsion gel today, just follow the blue line on the floor. Those of you who volunteered to be injected with praying mantis DNA, I've got some good news and some bad news. Bad news is we're postponing those tests indefinitely. Good news is we've got a much better test for you. Fighting an army of mantis men. Pick up a rifle and follow the yellow line. You'll know when the test starts.
If you YouTube, who is Shell, Chell, which is the character's name here, it will give you a really good synopsis of where she may come from, who she is, and what you're doing here. I thought it was very interesting and very well put together as well. Of note is the fact that the button in the cab here, in the lift, only goes up. You have to be on the first level to get the elevator to come back down. You can't be up there. So once you get up here, basically you're either going to jump down or you're going to take the stairs down. There's no other way.
They say great science is built on the shoulders of giants. Not here. At Aperture, we do all our science from scratch. No hand-holding. All right, let's get started. This first test involves something the lab boys call repulsion gel. You're not part of the control group, by the way. You get the gel. Last poor son of a gun got blue paint. All joking aside, that did happen. Broke every bone in his legs. Tragic, but informative. Or so I'm told. lab boys just informed me that I should not have mentioned the control group. They're telling me I ought to stop making these pre-recorded messages. That gave me an idea. Make more pre-recorded messages. I pay the bills here, I can talk about the control group all damn day.
Actually, there's something back this way. There's a lot of these little hidden rooms that are there for a reason. I'm sure they're there for a reason. There's something there that you can look at or find.
We put nanoparticles in the gel. In layman's terms, that's a billion little gizmos that are going to travel into your bloodstream and pump experimental genes and RNA molecules and so forth into your tumors. Now, maybe you don't have any tumors. Well, don't worry. If you sat on a folding chair in the lobby and weren't wearing lead underpants, we took care of that too.
Come on, come on. Get in the hole. Stupid. That's called insanity. Oh. It's really detail oriented. You have to have the right amount of momentum to affect certain things. You know that blue is there for a reason, right? It's gotta be, right?
Oh, in case you got covered in that repulsion gel, here's some advice the lab boys gave me. Do not get covered in the repulsion gel. We haven't entirely nailed down what element it is yet, but I'll tell you this, it's a lively one, and it does not like the human skeleton. All these science spheres are made of asbestos, by the way. Keeps out the rats. Let us know if you feel a shortness of breath, a persistent dry cough, or your heart stopping, because that's not part of the test. That's asbestos. Good news is the lab boys say the symptoms of asbestos poisoning show a median latency of 44.6 years. So if you're 30 or older, you're laughing. Worst case scenario, you miss out on a few rounds of canasta. Plus, you forwarded the cause of science by 3 centuries. I punch those numbers into my calculator, it makes a happy face.
I still don't know what canasta is. I'm not dying to find out either.
I like your style. You make up your own rules, just like me. Bean Counter said I couldn't fire a man just for being in a wheelchair. Did it anyway. Ramps are expensive.
I just like covering the whole place with goo. Yeah, I just said that. It comes in handy later. Like, not here, but covering the whole place with goo. You don't have to do it, but it's kind of fun.
Just a heads up, that coffee we gave you earlier had fluorescent calcium in it so we can track the neuronal activity in your brain. There's a slight chance the calcium could harden and vitrify your frontal lobe. Anyway, don't stress yourself thinking about it. I'm serious. Visualizing the scenario while under stress actually triggers the reaction. Now, if you're part of control group Kepler-7, we implanted a tiny microchip about the size of a postcard into your skull. Most likely you've forgotten it's even there. But if it starts vibrating and beeping during this next test, let us know. Because that means it's about to hit 500 degrees, so we're going to need to go ahead and get that out of you pretty fast.
You do realize he said tiny microchip the size of a postcard. I don't think many people caught that. I know at first I did not catch that.
Telling them, keep your pants on. All right, this next test may involve trace amounts of time travel. So, word of advice, if you meet yourself on the testing track, don't make eye contact. Lab boys tell me that'll wipe out time. Entirely. Forward and backward. So, do both of yourselves a favor and just let that handsome devil go about his business.
This is the part where I'm very interested in seeing how Kelly does this, how quickly he figures it out. It took me a long time to figure this part out when I first played it. I just didn't know what to do. But, I mean, if he figures this out quickly, I'm just gonna say he's cheating. Or he's very, very smart. Yeah, I kind of fudged that up. I don't know what made me wait so long to push that button.
If you're hearing this, it means you're taking a long time on the catwalks between tests. The lab boys say that might be a fear reaction. I'm no psychiatrist, but coming from a bunch of eggheads who wouldn't recognize the thrill of danger if it walked up and snapped their little pink bras, that sounds like protection. They didn't fly into space, storm a beach, or bring back the gold. No, sir, we did. It's you and me against the world, son. I like your grit. Hustle could use some work, though. Now let's solve this thing. Science isn't about why, it's about why not. Why is so much of our science dangerous? Why not marry safe science if you love it so much? In fact, why not invent a special safety door that won't hit you on the butt on the way out because you are fired? Now you test subject, you're doing fine. Yes, you, box your stuff. Out the front door, parking lot, car, goodbye. Congratulations! The simple fact that you're standing here listening to me means you've made a glorious contribution to science. As founder and CEO of Aperture Science, I thank you for your participation and hope we can count on you for another round of tests. We're not going to release this stuff into the wild until it's good and damn ready, so as long as you keep yourself in top physical form, there'll always be a limo waiting for you. Say goodbye, Carolyn.
Goodbye, Carolyn.
She is a gem. Greetings, friend. I'm Cave Johnson, CEO of Aperture Science. You might know us as a vital participant in the 1968 Senate hearings on missing astronauts. And you've most likely used one of the many products we invented, but that other people have somehow managed to steal from us. Black Mesa can eat my bankrupt...
Sir, the testing?
Right. Now you might be asking yourself, Cave, just how difficult are these tests? What was in that phone book of a contract I signed? Am I in danger? Let me answer those questions with a question. Who wants to make $60? Cash. You can also feel free to relax for up to 20 minutes in the waiting room, which is a damn sight more comfortable than the park benches most of you were sleeping on when we found you. So, welcome to Aperture. You're here because we want the best, and you're it. Nope. Couldn't keep a straight face. Anyway, don't smudge up the glass down there. In fact, why don't you just go ahead and not touch anything unless it's test related. The testing area is just up ahead. The quicker you get through, the quicker you'll get your $60.
Hold on.
Carolyn, are the compensation vouchers ready?
Yes,
Yes,
sir,
sir,
Mr.
Mr.
Johnson.
Johnson. Why did I just... Who is that? What the hell is going on here?
And we'll leave it there.